are live. Blake Cousins, welcome back, everybody. From around the world, we are reporting right here from the Big Island of Hawaii. And let me tell you what is going on in Western Africa. Guinea. We received a contact from Guinea just yesterday. His name is Jubil Barry, and we spoke with him via Skype. You got to take a look at the video that we just put up on our YouTube channel called What Just Crashed in Africa? Something big. Everybody take a look at the video, and basically what's going down over there seems to me like a massive cover-up. The tune of 1947 Roswell comes to mind, as well as the 2013 Manitoba crash. Cover-ups happening, military quarantine, confiscation of cell phones, any photographic devices. People are being evacuated from Goba in Guinea, Africa, and basically they're trying to blame it on a balloon, some kind of balloon crash there. Okay, well, if you believe that, then why the heavy security? Why the military involvement between the U.S. and the African military? Apparently, a U.S. ambassador has been dispatched to the scene, and our source, Jubil, we asked him to go out there and get some video of the action. Get the action on video. We want the evidence. No response from Jubil today, unfortunately. What happened? He said he was going to go over there. Where is he? We're hoping he's safe as everybody over there in that area. This happened on a little small village in a peanut farm. Hundreds and hundreds of people raced to the crash. They were drawn by a large sound coming from the sky, and then a massive boom, would you say. They ran up to it, and this thing was emitting strange lights that they could not explain. They swear that this is not a balloon. This is something extraterrestrial. So let's keep an eye on Africa, people, because I got a feeling this is the biggest news since possibly 1947, the Roswell cover-up. They said there was a flying saucer. The U.S. Army claims it was there in their possession, and then all of a sudden, nope, it's just a balloon. Just like what they're saying, what happened in Africa. They're blaming it on a Google balloon, a Google project called the Loom Project. And the Loom Project is designed to supply the internet to these vast regions of basically no technology, no telecommunications whatsoever. So they're trying to transmit the internet via these balloons. But what the people saw on the ground, they're saying it's not one of these things. It's something extraterrestrial. So let's, again, I want everybody to keep an eye on Africa. This is a big news. This is big news. Okay, so now we are live, Third Phase of Moon. And we are taking calls from around the world. And if you've got something you want to share, the number to call in is 347-934-0378. And if you want to get to the top of the call list, press number 1 on your keypad, and we'll bump you straight to the top. It's as simple as that. So what we're looking for tonight is a great UFO encounter. Have you been in close proximity to aliens? Are you a whistleblower? Do you know anything about reverse engineered technology? Any cover-up going on? We want a good, concise story. We want a beginning, middle, and end. We want to get the information out to the world. So let's do this. Let's bring it in. Let's bring in the people, and right away, let's see where we're going to go. We're going to go tonight. It's Friday Night Live radio show. This is amazing. Welcome, everybody from around the world. 215, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. How are you doing tonight?
Blake, hi. How are you today? How are you?
Doing good. Hey,
hi.
Doing great. You got something you want to share to the world?
Yeah, my name is Dave, and I live right outside of Philadelphia. I want to report a sighting that my sister and I both saw in the year of 1961. It was the summer of 1961. Right in a suburb of right outside Philadelphia, and we were in our backyard playing, It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was in August, so it was very light. And while we were playing, we saw out of nowhere this bright light comes above us. I'd say it's maybe between 400 and 500 feet in the air above us, and it was completely circular. It was a bright light, and in the middle of 5 in the afternoon, for the light to be that bright, it surprised us because it was just sitting in the middle of the sky, not moving anywhere. It's completely stationary. And I don't know how large it was because I didn't know how close it was, but I would say it had to be at least 400, 500 feet above us. And but it wasn't. I would say it was from us. It would look like the moon, almost like a little bit smaller than the moon above us. But as I said, I don't know how far away it was. However, it was a bright light. It was stood there for exactly between 8 and 10 minutes, and we were looking at it. And other people started coming out looking at it, and we're thinking, what the heck is that? Whether it was just, if it was a balloon, it would be moving. This was just absolutely stationary. All of a sudden, after about 8 to 10 minutes, it started moving very slowly in a northeasterly direction, and it kept moving as if it had its own way of its own trajectory. It was very definite in its movement. It didn't waver. Completely northeast, very slowly, and it started to gain speed. And all of a sudden, whoom! It went out and it completely disappeared over the trees. And I have never seen anything like it prior to that or since. And it was very strange.
Wow.
Very strange.
So, David, was there anybody with you at the time?
Yeah, my sister, and there were some neighbors came out. So we were all looking at it. We were like in shock because we've never seen anything. That was something unusual to see a bright light sitting in the middle of the sky that looked like the moon. And the moon that wasn't the moon because the moon doesn't hit our side of the house. It's the other side of the house. So it wasn't the moon, and the moon doesn't move. So it was some kind of an object. I would say it's definitely a UFO, and it was not of our anything on this planet, because if it was, I would see it every day or every once a month or once a year. Never seen anything before it like it. And I tell people, tell my friends, I've seen some. They look at you like you're, like they half believe you. But I know your show. You have a great show, and I listen to your callers and everything. And I myself, even if I didn't see it, I know we're not alone. But I just want to report that because I don't know around that time. It was the summer of '61. It was in August, and I don't know if around that time there were a lot of other calls. We didn't have cell phones then. We didn't have smartphones. It was talking in 1961. I was only like 14 years old. I'm 69 now. But I have never seen anything like it. And believe me, I'm always watching the skies, hoping I'll see something else. But if it was something that was in our environment and if something in close proximity to our military or anything, I would see it, or something similar, slightly resembling it. But nothing have I ever seen that looked like that moved that way, and I was awed by it. My sister and I still talk about it. When we get together for family gatherings, we discuss, remember that night, but no one else in our family was out there, so we were the only ones from our family who saw it. However, some neighbors came out, and all we were doing, we were mesmerized. We were actually mesmerized looking at this light, and it was like just so really weird. What a weird feeling it was just to watch. It was like more or less we were just like almost like hypnotized to look at this light. Nobody could just move. And then when it started moving, and then when it was out of sight, we looked at each other. It's like saying, "What the heck was that?" Was this talking about 1961? This, today and age, you have all kind of smartphones and tracking devices and drones. There was nothing like that at that time. So I just wanted to report that to you because I respect you and your show, and I know that you would take it seriously because you tell people like that, and they look at you like, you're only young kids, what did you know? But listen, we weren't just young kids. Our neighbors were out there too, and we all talking about it. We all saw the same thing. We went over it. Did you see what I just saw? And everybody had the same account. There was nothing like we would make up something because everybody was very consistent. The truth is the truth. The truth is out there. So just wanted to report that to you. I respect your show a lot, and you're doing a great job, you and your brother, and I respect your show a lot, and your listeners, callers. You're all, good people, and we just want the truth. And of course, a lot of things are being probably held secret to us. They don't want us to know, but just wanted you to report it to you. And thank you so much for listening. All right.
Well, Dave, well, just one quick question, but thank you for sharing. It's so important that you did share this experience, because in 1961, like you said, this stuff wasn't really relevant. People weren't really aware of what was up in the sky. The knowledge to even look up to see something extraterrestrial was not really mainstream, but now you have a lot of people believing now. So in 1961, a whole different time. But what's amazing is that you do have your family member, your sister there, and a neighbor that saw the same exact thing, that you weren't seeing something that in your imagination. This was real. So this is awesome. Can you tell everybody again, where was this? And could you, and again, approximate time? This is amazing. Go ahead.
5 o'clock, and I would say 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was daylight savings time, summertime, 1961. Around August. It was, I don't know exact day, but I know it was August. I think it was during the week. It was either Monday or Tuesday afternoon, and it was 1961. I remember, I know I was 14 then, and it was clear. It was clear as a bell. And what was really shocking was it came out of nowhere. The thing just absolutely appeared. There were no clouds. It was a clear night. The only thing we did have trees, but the trees were maybe 500 feet, 600 feet over to the roof. It was like we were right behind the woods, and as is the woods, but the object was amazing. But just we're not sitting there. It was hovering, stationary, not moving 1 inch either way, left, north, south, or east, west. It was staying there for a good at least 8 to 10 minutes. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, just without warning, it just started to slowly move, I would say, in a northeasterly direction, if you could imagine northeast. And as it was moving, it was picking up speed, and then it will all of a sudden zoom, went out of sight. And our neighbors, it was a couple neighbors out. I don't forget who they were, but because I haven't seen them in years, they could be, who knows, they could have passed on by now, all those years ago. But we were talking about it for a long time. So we're trying to figure out, because as you said just now, at that time, there weren't that many reports, and we don't have the technology then that we do now to photograph things. So we were like,
Sure.
I know.
Again, David,
I was reading about the Roswell incident. That was crazy, but that was insane. I believe it, but it's that's really scary. But this was scary to me because I was only 14. Now no one can answer my question.
Where was this? Where did this take place again?
Where?
Yeah, where was the exact location?
Philadelphia, right outside.
I don't think we got that yet.
Right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in an area called Overbrook Park. Overbrook Park. It was it was woods there. It was a neighborhood of a lot of row houses, mostly row houses, but we had this big area was just woods, and the object disappeared over the trees into the woods out of sight after hovering over our house for between 8 and 10 minutes without even moving. And we were mesmerized. We couldn't move. We were just looking at it like more as we were hypnotized. Probably like we were hypnotized. And I was 14.
Well, that's what I'm looking for, people. This is exactly what we're looking for. A concise story, time, place, eyewitness testimony. Who cares if it was even captured on camera at this point? You got to believe what David is saying is the basic truth. That's why we open up our Third Phase of Moon radio show every Friday for people to tell their stories. People might have seen the exact same thing. We got a lot of callers in tonight. Again, the number to call in is 347-934. Excuse me, 347. Yep, that's it. 934-0378. This is Third Phase Moon, and we are doing live radio show. We'll be right back. Blake Cousins. Keep your eyes on the skies, and stay tuned.
Control, this is Flight. We have landed on the moon. Control, this is Flight. We have landed on the moon.
Third Phase Moon, we're back, and we are taking calls from around the world. And you just heard a great caller from David, Philadelphia, the year 1961. Something strange over the neighborhood over there, and you have his sister and the neighbor see the exact same phenomenon, and they could not explain what it was. To this day, they still don't know what they saw in 1961. This is what it's all about. All right, if you've got a story you want to share to the world, you're going to share it to the world. Our last radio show is up to about 450,000 views on our YouTube channel. Last week's show, quite amazing. People are tuning in. So again, the number to call in is 347-934-0378. And if you've got something important you want to share, press number 1 on your keypad and you'll be taken straight to the top of the call list. Let's bring them in. Let's bring in the callers. 716, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. How you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, Blake?
Doing quite well. You got something you want to share to the world tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, this happened back in 1979. Me and a friend were out fishing, and we're at a spot where we weren't supposed to be, so we had to sneak back in there. And we're fishing, and it got dark, and we noticed over a telephone pole a red light. And as we watched the red light, it got bigger. So we decided, let's walk up to the road and see what it is. As we got to the road, it started coming right down the road, just hovering over the trees, probably 200 feet. And it was a big black triangle with 3 lights on the outside and 1 main light on the inside. And when it got right over us, it made no sound. And when it got right over us, the main light lit right up. And I had run up to the neighbor's house, and I looked back at my friend, and he was like paralyzed, looking up at it with his arms straight down. And he stood there for probably 5 seconds. And for some reason, I never knocked on the neighbor's door. I don't know why. And then the light went off, and it moved down the road. But when it moved, it jerked. It would go real fast, stop. Real fast, stop. And we had gone back out to the road, or he was still standing in the road. I ran back out to the road to meet with him. It was like, what was that? We were both like 15, and he was in shock, kind of. But we ran down the road to follow it, and it moved off real quick, but it had like red, yellow, and red lights on the back of it. And it's kind of hard to describe, and when it moved slow, and then would move like miles maybe, and then stop.
This stuff doesn't exist even to this date. This gentleman in 1971 witnessed something stop and go, moving miles within a second. I've seen this UFO phenomenon exactly the way you're describing it with my own eyes, and exactly what you and I agree on is definitely not from this earth. Not from this earth, sir. What was your name? I don't think we got your name.
Frank.
Well, Frank, appreciate your story with sharing it right here at Third Phase Moon, live to the world. It's important to get the word out. Again, appreciate it, Frank.
Blake, I'm going to send you a picture that I got off the ISS probably a week ago. It shows something kind of weird there. If you can look at it and just tell me what you think it is.
Absolutely. Resend it to me, and I'll give you my opinion of what I think it is. A lot of the times there's a lot of ISS footage. I want to see good stuff, this moving artifacts, anomalies that move in a way that we can't explain. There's a lot of glaring going on up there. So, Frank, I hope it's not glare, but maybe it's something. Resend it to me, and I'll definitely give you my opinion. Frank, again, thanks for sharing your story right here at Third Phase Moon. Let's get into the callers. We're going to get into the callers tonight, and it sounds like people got good stories, and they know how to tell them. And let me tell you, they're real. 909, you're live. Third Phase Moon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Very well, very well. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? And let's hear your story. It sounds like you got one you want to share.
December 1st, on the 3rd, I caught a UFO in the sky, and I have witnesses, and I put it up on is it YouTube? YouTube. And my name is Tracy. And I keep on
Tracy. What's the name of your Tracy, what's the name of your YouTube channel?
Right. And if you look at the little happy.
Okay, it sounds like we're breaking up on Tracy there. Not exactly sure what happened. Okay, next caller. We got more calls. Area code 626. You're live. Third Phase Moon. How you doing?
Yo, what's up, Blake?
Hey, what's up? What's your name, sir?
My name is Miguel Moreno. Yeah, I'm calling
Welcome
in
to the show, Miguel. Welcome to the show. Let's hear your story. Let's go. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from El Monte, California. It's in the San Gabriel Valley. Yeah, I'm calling in because there's a lot of white spheres coming out into the public's eyes. There's white spheres.
Okay, Miguel, yeah. Let's hear your story. What do you think they are? Do you got any video? Do you got friends witnessing this stuff? What do you think it is?
What it is, I think it's some type of extraterrestrial entity because they have telepathic powers, and one of them gave me a message, and he wished me peace, love, and tranquility for my planet. I saw it come out of the mountains, and as soon as a light, as soon as it lit, it into nothing, into thin air.
Miguel, appreciate your sharing your story. He sounds like he got a really positive message. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of despair out there. But in my opinion, there's nothing to worry about. It's all good. It's gonna be okay, everybody. All right, let's bring in the callers. 352. You're live right here at Third Phase of Moon. How you doing tonight? And where are you calling in from? What's your name?
Are you talking to me? Hello?
Yeah, you're live, man. How you doing? 352. Welcome to the show. You got something you want to share tonight?
Yeah, I'm 63. I'm a truck driver. I'm a female truck driver. And I've seen 2 UFOs in my lifetime. One,
okay.
I was...
Hold on a sec.
Can you hear me okay?
You're slightly. You might need to get closer to the microphone, whatever you're speaking into. And, yeah, it sounds like you're a truck driver. And go ahead from there. Let's hear it.
Anyway, my first one, I was a teenager. I grew up in Florida, and I was standing outside my house, and I looked up, and we got an atmosphere. Well, this UFO came in the atmosphere and went back out within a split second. I mean, I was by myself, and I thought, what in the heck was that? And then in Ocala, Florida, driving along and seeing one of them bright lights like the guy was describing, just like all of a sudden there was a light that got huge, and it just went back again, and it went away. And I had my son-in-law with me. He's seen that one. And I seen something strange in the middle, the northwest of the United States. I was delivering, looked up, and I seen what looked like a huge black kite, like it wasn't moving. And all of a sudden, this thing turned and went away. Huge. And it was the middle of the day. Like nobody was looking up, seeing it. But I was just happened to be looking up, seeing it. It's crazy. Are you still there? Hello?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, well, I want to get your name. What was your name?
My name is Jan, Jan.
Hey, Jan. Well, appreciate you sharing your story. It sounds like you saw something quite incredible and exciting, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big follower. I read all about the ancient astronauts and all the stuff that NASA done. Being in Florida, we watch the spaceships go up over the years. But it's special the stuff that NASA's caught. The weird stuff that's left our planet. Those spaceships that went into the storms that was sucked. I mean, all that stuff really. I mean, how do they explain all that? It's, it's not from this world.
Absolutely, Jan. That is a mystery out there. It's definitely an enigma, the life we live right now. And it amazes me with some of the videos we receive on how bizarre and enigmas become reality in its own sense. Jan, you be safe out there, and be safe when you're driving, all right, on that road.
Oh, yeah. We do that. Hey,
all right.
Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, thank you, Jan. And, spread it to all the truck drivers out there. Third Phase of Moon, we take callers, truck driver callers. Get that on the out there.
I'm going down Highway 80 right now, heading to Orlando. Oh, man, I lost my mind. We're heading over toward Michigan. Hopefully we don't get caught in the ice storm. So, well, you have a good time over there in Hawaii. And I'll call you again if I do see something. Catch it on tape. Catch it on my phone. I'm always looking.
Thank you, Jan. And definitely 10-4 on that. 10-4. We want to hear whatever comes in. If you've seen something incredible and you've got something you want to share, Third Phase of Moon is a place to share it. So let's bring in more callers. 954. Welcome to the show. You're live. You're live right now. Welcome.
Hi, Blake. Thanks for taking my call. My name's
you're
Nino.
welcome.
I'm calling from South Florida.
Hey, right, Nino. Thanks for joining us. You got something you want to share to the world right now? It sounds like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. It's a story that my brother told me when we were growing up, and he lived in Warner Robins, Georgia. And just one night he's in his bedroom going to sleep, and he shared a bedroom with his other brothers. I have 4 older brothers. 4 half brothers anyways. And he went to sleep, and he woke up in the middle of the night. He saw something out his window. And what he told me he said he saw what looked like Spider-Man, like with big eyes and the round head, and he was freaking out, but he was just in his bed. And he said at the moment, when he turned his head and looked at another one, that's when that's when my brother decided to put his head under the covers and go back to sleep. So that was his story. And what was really crazy is because he lives on, his bedroom's on the second floor of his house. And, we're not sure how true that story is, but he says that he's very serious about that story. And this happened. This happened when I was probably 15, and my brother was a lot younger. Anyways, that's the story.
Well, okay, let's bring him on. If he's there, that'd be great. I'd like to talk to the source.
Absolutely.
Hey, how's it going?
Chuck.
No problem. We'll wait.
Hey, this is Chuck. This is the guy who saw Spider-Man.
Wow, Chuck. Hey, welcome to the show. Before I get to questioning you real quick, let me tell you a quick story in regards to being scared, being very frightened as a young child, right? So you're in bed, right, and you hear something, you see something, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so vulnerable. How else can I protect myself while I'm in bed here? And basically, you almost think, wow, I just got to play dead. I got to play like I'm dead already. So why would the bad guy want to kill me? I was thinking when I was a kid, like, I'm going to have to have some ketchup next to me, and then I'm going to pour the ketchup on top of him. It's like, don't mess with that guy. He's dead already. And it sounds like what you saw, you just put the covers over your head. It frightened you half to death. Okay, the man that saw Spider-Man, we got him on Third Phase of Moon. What do you think you saw, sir?
Well, like I said, it's second floor. How does something get up there? It obviously wasn't just someone standing, outside. And listen, I'm a pilot, okay, and I fly. I don't see anything. I don't see any UFOs. I don't see nothing in the sky. I don't see that one time. I was a skeptic. Trust me. I do not believe in this stuff. Growing up, it was crazy. But when you finally see it and you see something you can't explain, that's what gets you. And then you're thinking about what that was. And you ask me, what do I think it was? It's your imagination running wild. Second floor, whatever it was, it freaked me out. It could have been a spider monkey for all I know, but it was something.
Yeah, that's amazing because, as a child, you see things and you're like, oh, my God. And then as you grow up in life, you're still trying to debunk what you just saw. And to this day, you really can't debunk what you saw. You actually saw something that's still sticking with you to this day. That's incredible.
Well, listen, that's why you go under the covers. That's what the covers are for. That's a good tactic. Just go under the covers, and guess what? It'll go away. Almost like a bee, right? You don't bother the bee, he won't bite you. You go out to the window and find out what that is and bring your gun or bring a baseball bat, he will attack you. Just get under the covers. Get under the covers.
Okay, Blake, thank you very much for taking our call, man. It's been awesome. You're very awesome. We listen to you every week. So keep it up. Keep listening. We'll keep listening, and when we see something, we're going to let you know. South Florida, baby. Peace.
Wow. Okay, South Florida and the brothers just shared something, and wow, you got a pilot. He's grown up now. He's a big boy, and what he saw, he can't explain. And the brothers just shared this incredible sighting, what they call a close encounter. Wait for it. The Spider-Man. The Spider-Man. Okay. I believe the story too. He can't explain what he saw. All right, let's see. Let's see how area code 405, the 405 is with us. Hopefully it's not a busy channel. The 405, you there? Welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Blake, it's your mysterious friend from Oklahoma City. How you doing today, man?
Oh, wow. Hey, appreciate it. So, wow, hey, thanks for calling in. You got something you want to share tonight?
Yeah, and you will not believe this, Blake. And usually when something creepy around my neck of the wood happens, it happens, and I'm going to tell you first, okay?
Okay. So what's creeping out? What's creeping you out in your backyard? And where is this? Where's this happening?
Well, okay. On New Year's Day, I was taking out the trash because Monday was going to be, trash day here, and so I decided, no specific reason, to look at the moon to see what phase it was tonight, because I don't seem to pay that much attention. I looked up, I saw the moon, and I saw a bright white light. At first, I thought it was a plane, but I saw no other lights around it. It was there was no red light, there was no yellow light, no nothing, and it did not even move. I mean, I went like 10, 15 minutes later, the light was still there and has not moved anywhere. And I was like, okay, this is creeping me out. Something is happening in my neck of the woods, and I'm telling you.
Well, it doesn't sound too threatening if you ask me. It sounds like it's basically trying to be incognito, whatever it is. If it starts getting erratic, if it starts to get closer, definitely let me know. Keep in touch. Keep in touch with us. All right, let's bring in an unlisted phone number. And sometimes we get unlisted phone numbers, and sometimes they drop out. But sometimes you never know who you're going to get on the other line when you go unlisted. So let's bring them in. If you're there, just go ahead and say hello.
Hey, Blake, this is Art, and I'm calling from...
Hey, Art, how you doing tonight? Welcome to the show. Can you get a little closer to your apparatus? You're a little soft.
Hold on for a second. Okay, how about now? Is that better?
Way better, Art. Way better. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. Where are you calling in from, Art?
I'm calling from Little Rock, a little town out here next to just north of Los Angeles, like the high desert, Lancaster, Palmdale area.
Okay. Yeah, I've been up in that area. How are you doing?
Yeah,
you
it's
something
pretty quiet,
up in Little Rock?
Yeah, there's a little town. It's real small, probably like about 1,000, 2,000 people here, I'm only about 10 minutes away from Lancaster, but it's still real close to Lancaster.
Well, hey, welcome to the show. You guys, let's hear something, Art. People are on pins and needles. You got something you want to share?
Okay, well, check this
Go ahead.
out. Well, this happened back in 1982. The end of 1982, I was just getting ready to go into boot camp, me and my buddy, and we're cruising on the Pacific Coast Highway 101 in that area. And we were just cruising up and down the coastline, and it was summertime. Well, actually, it was the end of the summer. And so as we were driving on our bikes, motorcycle bikes, we decided to pull over to the side and kind of take a little break. And so we're hanging out there, and then we were looking around at the ocean, and you can see, just birds flying around, and all of a sudden we see these two big black circle discs flying around, okay? And so we were just, go check this out, Sam, check this out. So we're like, wow, none of us had a camera or nothing like that. And then all of a sudden, it looked like it was going to crash into the ocean, and it just disappeared. But then all of a sudden, it looked like there was a splash that, like, how if you were to get a ball and kind of just smack it down into the water, it kind of just sinks. But we thought we were going to see this craft smack the water, but it went into something, and then that, whatever it was, went under like a submarine. And that was bizarre, and that was like, we never seen anything like that. We looked at each other, it's just like, gosh, this is crazy. But you know what's even crazier? About 5 minutes later, these cops roll up. And we told them, hey, did you see this? And they go, see what? I go, that ship that was flying discs. Oh, okay, yeah, we saw that. We wanted to make sure that you saw what you saw. And then they asked us for our IDs, and so we show them our IDs, and we told them that in a couple of days we're going to be leaving the boot camp. Well, we finally go to boot camp, probably in our third week there. We get called in to our CO's office, and these two guys were sitting there. They're in suits, and so they take us outside, start talking with us, and he goes, "Hey, back in late, kind of like in October, around that area, maybe kind of towards closer to fall, late summer." He goes, "Did you see a couple of items flying through the sky and stuff like that?" And we were questioned for about a half hour with these two guys. And he goes, "Okay." He basically put down that never to review this. You didn't see anything out there. Somebody asks you. And I said, okay, I'm only like 17 and a half, 18 years old at the time. And it's just like, really, I thought I was in trouble or something. But they tracked us all the way down to Paris Island, all the way to Paris Island. And the reason I had to go there because I got in trouble with the law, and I couldn't go to Camp Pendleton for my, not Camp Pendleton, but MCRD training. I had to go to South Carolina, Paris Island. I had a little trouble with the law issue, so I had to get it straightened out.
Sure, yeah. I got you, but this is weird. This is what I like because it sounds like a massive cover-up. First of all, why the cops are asking you for your ID? What did you do? You did nothing wrong. And next thing you know, you're being brought in and being interviewed by two. Who were these individuals? Did they seem like the MIB to you? What was it? Could you describe them? What was their? What was their?
They didn't really.
Go ahead.
Being young, they just had two gentlemen. Well, first of all, my staff sergeant sent us off to our staff sergeant, or not drill sergeant, our drill sergeant sent me off to talk to the captain, our lieutenant. So at that office, we were approached by these two gentlemen, and we were being questioned in another room. And these guys just looked like, to me, they kind of look like feds, but they said they work for the government. And we just want to investigate the things that you saw. And I don't even know how they tracked us there, but I guess from being stopped by the police, they somehow, I don't even know if they were police or not, but they had a cop car. In that area, I believe the sheriff department kind of cruises up and on that highway, but I'm not really sure. But I knew that these guys were clean cut. Just a couple of white guys in suits, look real nice, dressed. And they were important enough to track us down about 3 weeks later, maybe about a month later, because we didn't leave after we saw this ship thing fly into the water. That was probably about 2 weeks had passed, and then we got shipped out. So,
all right, let's. This is incredible because. I do want to get to another caller before our radio shows up, and we've got about 13 minutes left. But again, this is I want to get this straight. It's you saw two craft basically turn into USOs right in front of your face. Describe the sighting quickly again, one more time. That's the most important part.
Okay. Well, like I said, we were on our bikes and we're looking towards the ocean. We just stopped, take a little break. And we saw these two dark discs. They weren't really dark a little bit, but they were kind of silverous. But I guess because it was kind of like late, about 5 or 6 o'clock, it was still kind of sunny, but it looked dark, like a metallic metal. And they were just coming down like they were going to land on something. Because they were kind of high, but they were kind of cutting down at a 90-degree angle, or a little coming down like they're going to land, and we thought they were going to smash into the water. But something big, and they flew right into that. They just disappeared, and then we just hit the water, just out of nowhere, just kind of submerged, and the water just shot up like almost like water shooting out of a whale. It shot straight up. That was it. And then about 5 minutes later, that's when the two cop cars pulled up, or asking us questions because they might have seen it. The reason why
Could
they
you tell me
stopped
exactly what was the closest beach that you could name that you were on that when you witnessed this?
We were just coming close to, what's that beach called? God, Santa Monica Pier. We were about maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from actually coming up to that beach because we were going to stop there to grab something to eat.
Yeah,
and then,
gotcha.
So we
gotcha. Right off the Malibu coast. The Malibu coast, there's a hot spot over there. That's a UFO hot spot for UFOs turning into USOs, my friend. You saw something. That's where all the action's happening and all the sightings of this phenomenon. Wow. Appreciate it. Appreciate you calling in and sharing your story. This is incredible. What a great show. Thank you so much.
All right, Mike, take it in. See you later.
Okay, wow. So the mystery gets a little more clear on the activity going out over there on the Malibu coast, Santa Monica, that whole area, and that underwater base over there. And we just heard it there. And they were trying to cover it up, and the military and this gentleman was basically told, shut the hell up about it, or else. Typical stuff. They're trying to cover it up, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work as long as we're around sharing this stuff, getting it out. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. Let's bring in the next caller, area code 320, area code 320. You've been waiting. You're here. You're live. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I can't hear you. Can you get a little closer?
Can you hear me?
Much better. Hey, how you doing tonight? You got something you want to share? We got a few minutes left. Let's go for it.
Well, I can't really believe I got through to you. Can you hear me okay?
I got you loud and clear. Yeah, let's go with it. Where are you calling from, and what's your name? You made it to the show.
My name's Doug, and I'm calling from Minnesota. Back in the early 90s, I went down to Texas to see some old friends of mine. Well, I came out of Wilmer, Minnesota on Highway 71, and I was going to drive all night long, headed south, and it was a really clear night and really calm. It was just beautiful out, and way off in the distance, I seen this light that, well, I compared it to stars and stuff, and it was different. And through process of elimination, I thought, well, that's got to be a UFO. It's got to be. So anyway, I started flashing my lights at it with my blinker switch. I got halogen lights on my truck. So I high and low, really fast. And about that time, I went through this dip in the road, and my lights must have swept across it. Now, we're talking that thing was probably 300 miles out there. And anyway, it turned out that I was right. It was a UFO, and in the blink of an eye, the thing was 100 feet in front of my truck, hovering, locked on me. And I just sunk in my seat. And I thought, oh, my God, I wished it would go away, but it wouldn't. And it had this beautiful pattern. It was like Hollywood lights, you know, them beams you see? Well, it was like them, only coming out of the bottom of it. And they were going in this beautiful pattern. And I mean, it was in the blink of an eye. It was right there on my truck. And it stayed there for, 30 seconds or so. And then it went off to the left of me out in the fields and stuff, and it was still locked on my truck. And I could see it was pitch black out, and you could see like drainage ditches and bean fields and stuff light up underneath it. And then I'm staring at it, then I went off on the shoulder and almost went in the ditch, and I pulled it back up, and I was just freaking out, and it stayed there for a few minutes, and then finally it just took off in the distance. I could see it cruising. It just cruised away, but it was a disc, flying saucer, right in front of my face, that quick.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sure there are thousands of people right now, thousands of people that are going to listen to this and go, I'm jealous. I am jealous of this encounter that you had. You're so lucky. That's incredible.
I'm lucky. I don't know if I would ever call another one like that, but I mean, if somebody did want to call one, all you got to do is take like a spotlight and blink it on and off at one. I guarantee you, well, there's a good chance that you would be calling it to you, you know. And as for being beamed up or anything like that, I don't recall nothing. Like I said, in the blink of an eye, it was hard to describe how many hundreds of miles out there it was, but just in the blink of an eye, it was on my truck, just hovering right with me, and I'm doing like 65 down the highway, you know, and that was the closest I've ever, I'd never even thought about them before, but I was absolutely right with the blinking the lights and calling it like that. So that's my story.
Yeah, and then, that is a story, and you know what, man? I believe your story 100%. I believe it. Why would you even want to call in and tell me something of a figment of your imagination? You witnessed this, and it just makes it really my pleasure to be here with people like you, sharing your incredible encounters. Your encounter, and it sounded like a close encounter, a very close encounter, possible abduction, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, for the longest time, you know, I figured somebody should know about this story, but I didn't know who to report it to or to, you know, a lot of times people, they just think you're nuts if you go talking about stuff like that. But I mean, I swear to God it happened, just like I'm saying, you know, and it had this beautiful pattern of lights underneath it. Now, if you picture a disc, like let's say 100 feet around, and on the bottom side of it, picture that you got 4 white lights on the outer edges, and you got 1 white light in the middle. Well, these 4 lights, they would go to the middle one and back out, to the middle one and back out, and it was just beautiful, like a star. I'd never seen anything so pretty in my life. And as I looked closer, the thing was turning real slow. So the path of these lights that were going to the center one and back out, they were all curved, opposite, you know, coming in and back out. Looked just like a star, you know, and out and in, out and in. I'd never seen nothing like it. But that's my story. I hope people are listening to it.
Oh, trust me. They are listening to it, my friend. And that was one of the best descriptions. Besides video, we get a lot of video, but just how you described the underbelly, basically, of a flying saucer, as it were, just, you know, a few feet above your head. That is absolutely incredible. I think that is how you close a show, people. That's how you close a show. And we will be back next Monday, just a few days from now, doing it again. The same time, everybody. Same place. The links will be supplied on our Third Phase of Moon on Monday, just before the show. And if you've got something you want to share and you didn't get in tonight, we'll be back Monday and doing it again this Friday. So, wow, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. What a great show. We got in a lot of callers, and they had some great encounters. Great encounters. Everybody, keep safe. And keep your eyes on the skies and have that camera ready. Blake Cousins. We'll see you again next time.
Control, this is Flight. We're making